Ryan Sanders, world champion trail runner.
Yes.
Well, I've still to learn really what I can envisage a trail.
Yes.
But what do you call a trail?
Yeah, trails basically any surface or any road that isn't tarred or doesn't have a pavement on it. So you get trails in the mountains, you get coastal trails, you can run through a jungle there, you also get trails. So basically, yeah, anything that's not along a kind of a proper paved or tarred road is a trail.
Yeah. What's the difference between running on a road, running on a track, and running on a trail? It's a silly question in some respect because there's stones and loose gravel, but what's the big difference?
Yeah, I think running on a trail, I find it a lot more exciting than running on a road. With a trail, you're running up the side of a mountain and you're dodging snakes or having to duck the whole time to get underneath branches or jumping over rocks. And you're always running in a really awesome environment, and it's really beautiful. And I just find I have lots of fun out there. Just time seems to fly when I'm running on the trails, and then you run down the other side of a mountain. Again, it's really fast and high tempo, and you're getting a full body workout. You're using your arms, your hands, and I just find it, because the nature and environment is constantly changing around you, there's always something new happening, and it's always exciting.
Can't be a rhythm.
No, it's kind of a lot of it stop-start. So where a lot of road runners like to get into a rhythm and they just kind of go ahead and keep going, trail running, a lot of it's kind of stop-start, and yeah, you're always kind of navigating the unknown, which I find really intrigues me, and I really enjoy that.
Do you get lost in it? Do you get absolutely like there's nobody else in the world when you're there?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely some of the trails. I've just come from the Drakensberg running the Salomon Sky Run there, and that's 110 kilometers through, like basically running along the Lesotho borderline, or where it kind of borders on the South African border, and you run for 8-9 hours. You don't see anyone. You see a couple of cows if you're lucky, and maybe 1 or 2 herdsmen. So it's quite extreme. It's almost like the opposite of claustrophobia. You're just really out there, and you really kind of get absorbed by the surroundings, which, as I said, I think that really intrigues me, and is one of the things I love about trail running. And also, I think for me, I get to travel the world. I've got to meet some really interesting people, and also I kind of, through running ultra distance trail races, I've had to learn a lot about myself along the way, which is always an interesting process.
The obvious question that people are going to ask me is how on earth do you make a living at running a trail?
Yeah, obviously trail running is a very new sport. When I first started trail running in about 2007, 2008, there were about a handful of trail races in South Africa, and traditionally they're only the 35 to 40 kilometer trail races, where I specialize more in the ultra races, anything from the multi-day races, and then more recently to the 100 kilometer and 100 miler one-day mountain races. But yeah, obviously really lucky to have sponsors. Prize money in trail running isn't that big, or some of the more traditional older races don't have any prize money. So you rely a lot on sponsors, and yeah, I think I've had to also think outside the box. I do a lot of motivational speaking and some other things that bring in income. But yeah, obviously super grateful to the guys that have supported me along the way, because I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them.
Looking at what you're wearing today, I would assume that some of them are your sponsors.
Yeah, obviously, Red Bull, Velocity Sports Lab, and Salomon are the 3 kind of key sponsors, and I've also got guys like Oakley, Hammer Nutrition, Cross Country, and Sunto, which also give me a lot of help and support along the way.
Red Bull give you wings?
Yeah, no, they definitely do.
I would imagine you need them. Have you ever been in a dangerous situation where you thought, oh my God, why am I doing this? What am I doing here?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of times when that runs through your mind. Definitely running the Jungle Marathon a couple of years back. It's a multi-day stage race through the Amazon jungle. I entered the race without probably doing enough research on it, and then I got there and I realized when you're in the jungle, there's not a lot that's your friend. Kind of, you touch trees, if they scrape you, the poison can kill you. You're constantly fending off massive snakes. You're swimming through piranha-infested kind of swamps and rivers. You sleep in a hammock at night, and you take a bottle to bed with you so you can pee in it, because if you try to get out your hammock at night, there are just all these red eyes looking at you, and the actual floor of the jungle just comes alive with these like massive kind of highways of ants, and yeah, nothing's your friend there. So I was pretty relieved to get out there, and that's probably the one race yeah, I don't think I'd go back and do it again.
So the kind of phrase, did you shit yourself?
Yeah, nearly a couple of times.
A bit scary. What do you attribute your success to? I mean, how do you stay focused?
Yeah, I think constantly changing my boundaries and goals. I think I really love what I do, and I'm passionate about it, and that gives me a strong motivation and drive. And I've always been a relatively competitive person. I think when I set my mind to something, I kind of want to go out there and achieve it. And for me, the early years of trail running was a lot about doing multi-day stage races, the races like the 4 Desert Series and stuff like that. And after that, I've focused more on the 1 day, 100 kilometer and 100 mile mountain trail races, which has been my main focus at the moment. I think by kind of constantly shifting my boundaries and kind of keeping up those challenges, I think if stuff becomes too easy in life, then you almost lose your focus and your passion and commitment. So yeah, I think by just kind of constantly setting those boundaries quite high, or those challenges, it definitely helps me to kind of stay focused and keep that passion I want to keep going out and achieving.
Do you have to work out a lot? Do you have to go to gym a lot? What kind of exercises do you do?
Yeah, obviously I do a lot of running. If I'm training for a big race, anything from 15 to 25 hours a week of running. Probably another 4 or 5 hours in gym, doing a lot of core work. Also spend a lot of time at physiotherapist, liner therapist.
Food?
Yeah, also yeah, I eat a lot.
What do you eat? A lot of high carbohydrate?
Actually, eat quite a bit of protein, a mixture. Like I know there's a lot of talk going on at the moment that you're gotta have a real specific diet, and for me it's more about listening to your body. I think it's even when I'm training, I don't train with a heart rate monitor, stuff like that. I believe in you gotta stay in touch with your body, and I know when I'm kind of my revs are in the red. I know when I'm taking it easy, and it's the same with food. I try and eat healthily, but I listen to what my body wants. Obviously, don't live on McDonald's every night or like unhealthy food like that, but you also got to live life. I enjoy a couple of beers here and there, a pizza or a burger. I think with my training schedule being quite kind of focused and strict at times, as I said, you got to live life a bit and kind of also enjoy it.
Yep. And girlfriends?
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend, Vanessa, who pretty cool that she really understands what I do. She gets to travel a lot with me, so it's always cool to have someone like her around to support me, especially with a lot of the 100k and 100 milers I'm doing at the moment. A lot of it's about having a support crew, and she's kind of chief she's in charge of the support crew, and she's nice support. Yeah, that's always cool. She's like a little Hitler, so everything kind of gets run according to plan.
Now that you're the undisputed world champion,
yeah.
I mean, what keeps you going? I mean, what's lined up? What fresh challenges can you think just to make you keep going there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say world champion in trail running, because there's so many different disciplines. Like obviously I won the 4 Desert Series a few years ago, and won quite a few other races around the world, but there's no official world championships, so it's hard to say I'm the world champion. Like there are a lot, and you get a lot of different distances like marathons and 100Ks and 100 milers. So I'd always be hesitant to call myself a world champion. I'd like to think I'm right up there. But just challenges, I think, there's still a lot more I'd like to go out and do. I've never won a race on the continent of Europe. That's the one continent I've still got left. So hopefully try and tick that box next year, or maybe the following year. Definitely want to go back and run Western States, the 100 miler in the US. So I've still got a couple of goals, and then also I'd like to do a couple of adventure kind of expeditions I'd like to do, which I'm trying to do a bit of planning. Obviously they take up a lot of time, but I think the key thing is just to continue having fun, making the most of life. And I think I'll wake up every day super excited about the day ahead, which is obviously the most important. I think if I wake up tomorrow and my life feels boring, then I'll probably find something else to do.